Hi everybody, I'm Marcos.
And I'm Kirsten.
And this is the Minnesota Real Estate Investing Podcast.
Join us every week as we discuss real estate investing in the land of 10,000 lakes. Okay, so we're watching the game today while we do our podcast. Okay, vamos, vamos, Argentina. Vamos, vamos a ganar.
Eva! She remembers.
What's the rest?
Que esta banda quilombera no te deja de alentar. Welcome to a new episode of our podcast. I'm here with Kirsten today in our house. We have our tree in the background there. It's Christmas time, and our dog is down here. I'm petting her. We have our jerseys because we're watching Argentina versus Poland as we film today, and
yeah, because we have a story time today.
Yeah, today is story time. So I can kind of drift and yell at the TV.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Sort of.
Just like pretend you're sitting here watching the game with us and we're telling you a story.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't actually happen because, what would you say, like, fanáticos de fútbol son re fanáticos y no hablan de nada más. Shh, no digas nada, estoy mirando.
Don't talk to me. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
today we're going to tell the story of our recent deal that fell through.
yes, because this happens a lot
Yeah.
in investing in real estate in general. I mean, luckily you always get to write an offer and get to closing, and everybody's happy. There are times that most of the time it's like that, I would say, but it also happens really often where you find something in the inspection, there's no way to negotiate, and then it happens what happened with ours. Usually if you find something in the inspection, which is why you have to do an inspection, especially for an investment property, you can negotiate and everyone ends up
Whoa!
This is what happens when recording during the game, but well.
We'll get interrupted by ourselves.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, so this deal, it started out like every other deal. Marcos, I found a good deal.
Yeah, and when she does that, it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna buy a house.
Yeah.
So we went and looked at it, right?
Yeah, we went and looked at it together. For the first, usually one of us will go first, but this time we were able to go together. And every house that, I know is a good deal and that I know has potential and just has a feeling to it, I walked in and I was like, yep, we're buying this one. I like it. I love it. It's good. It's not like you should have those emotions for living there, but you just know, like, this is a house I would like to put my money in, and I know it's going to give that back to me, because it has, either way, you should buy investments that have that feeling of, like, it's a good feeling place, because if it's good feeling to me, I know that anyone else will think the same.
Well, at the same time, the numbers were there.
Yeah.
So we knew the numbers were there, at least for the amount of money that we knew we needed to get it at, which was lower than what they were asking. But another thing we knew going in and to the showing and taking a look at the house was that they didn't have any offers. They were on the market for what at that time?
At that time it had been like, I want to say like 60 or 70 days.
Something like that? Yeah.
No, I think like 60 days or
so you're in the market for about 2 months. You don't have any offers, you're going to be motivated. We took a look at the house and comps and all that stuff, and as it is, with the property being sold as is, we knew it was overpriced.
So this is a home. We'll just say this is a home in Plymouth, and that's one of the areas that we really like investing in or want to invest in. We're like western suburbs people. We love the western suburb areas, and so we love that it was in the Wayzata School District, and it was priced when we were looking at it. The first time we looked at it, it was at $375. So, and we walked through it, and it's a Rambler, and it had one level that would need some just cosmetic updates, and then a whole unfinished basement, which is obviously what we love to see, right? Because that's where all the money is.
Yeah, you can add equity. I mean, it had an egress window already and a bedroom down there. That was the only part that was actually finished of the basement, and a bathroom that, it was open to the.
Yeah, you've seen those bathrooms. That, I mean, yeah, it had a toilet and then this like super disgusting shower that I would never take a shower in. So I don't think I think the person living there was, but whatever. I mean, the house upstairs was very clean and
it was
outdated.
well maintained. Yeah, just outdated. It had, very good things going for it, which is big ticket items, fairly new roof, siding, and windows, and it had things going for it that were really attractive from an investor point of view. Because if you have a fairly new roof, like most of our homes had that we bought, you are saving money in the long run. So you're not having to replace a roof. You're not having to replace certain big ticket items.
Also, windows were replaced.
Yeah. And, I mean, it is what it is.
Sorry.
Salud. It is what it is when you buy an investment property, as long as the numbers are there. If our offer would have been much lower if we would have had to replace all that.
Yeah.
So, you have to account for all those things.
Yeah, so it was at $375. We walked through it, loved it, offered them
$330.
Yep, I have another sneeze coming. It's gonna be like 10 now.
Yeah. We're gonna get interrupted for the next few minutes with her nieces.
My nieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we offered $330. It got rejected. Like, not even negotiating, nothing. Like, okay, let's meet in the middle type thing. No. Completely rejected.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, that's a bummer, because we know that this is the RV. We know that this is how much we have to spend, and that's kind of the ballpark. So we kept running numbers. We kept saying, well, what if we do this? What if we do that? We ended up saying, okay, let's see. With the type of financing we can get right now, $350, we can do it. $20,000 in the big scheme of thing, when you're getting a loan that's amortized, in our case, in 25 years, it's not that much more money.
Yeah, and we were being really conservative on the rent potential, so we thought, well, like, let's just make sure we make it really nice, and then we can, like, have the rent be more than we can have the rent be more than we were originally thinking. So we made that offer, was rejected. When we came back, and was it like a week later or something?
I think a week later. Yeah. We tweaked numbers. We offered them $350.
Yeah.
We made sure to put an inspection contingency there, because we saw a couple of red flags when we walked through it, like some cracks in the foundation, and not your regular cracks, but actually some bowing on the foundation walls. And they had a red flag that we noticed is that they had 2 sump pumps, and one sump pump should be enough, honestly. And then you start wondering, well, why do you have 2? This is an as-is property, so the sellers didn't really know anything about it. The only thing that they apparently knew was, the basement is dry. That for sure I know. But every other question, no, sellers don't know. No, sellers don't know. And I'm like, well, we had people over there.
Yeah, that's a red flag to us.
That's a red flag. So we put an inspection contingency, which for, I think it was 10 days. When everything was said and done, we scheduled the inspection. We did everything we had to do. We had our people over there to make sure that our numbers were correct. And during the inspection, we had a problem that was that, unfortunately, those red flags became true, which is the foundation needs to be um, taken care of. Drain tile is non-existent. What's happening is that the basement was finished at some point, and the two sump pumps were actually taking care of water that was on the floor of the basement. So this last season in Minnesota has been one of the driest seasons, if not the driest season recorded. Mm-hmm. Something like that. I can't remember exactly what happened, because everyone told me when we saw that, the inspector told me something like that. Then the drain tile people told me something like that. The foundation people told us that. Other contractors and plumbers told us.
Yeah, we had more than one plumber out there, and it was interesting because, so usually how it works is that the water flows down to the side of the house into the drain tile and into the sump pump, but there was no drain tile from what. So one person said there was drain tile, didn't they? And then the other two or three people, there could be. Yeah, so we were getting like mixed like answers on it, and then so these sump pumps had no holes like for the water to go into them from the outside of the house. So we're assuming that the only reason why they were there is that water came down into the basement and it would overflow and just go directly right into the sump pump. Well, the whole reason why we're buying this house is because we want to finish the basement and add equity. We're going to add another bathroom finish the bathroom and add another bedroom, and then more square footage that you like a family room and then a like playroom area.
So that would really impact our plan of what we want to do with the house, not only to add equity but also to get the rent that we need to get in order to the rental income to be profitable, not only covering, well, at that point, if you don't finish the basement, you're running the risk of basically paying a mortgage and then not even breaking even, like actually losing money.
Yeah, we would.
So we would have been losing money on that one, or barely breaking even and hoping for nothing to break if we wouldn't have done the inspection. Hence why we did the inspection. We put 10 days at first, and then we extended it another week just to make sure that we had the correct people looking at it. And unfortunately, we tried to negotiate with the sellers.
Well, we had all of our contractors out there too. That's what sucks too, is we had all of our contractors out there, multiple, handymen, and just getting our team lined up because we were like sure we were gonna get to closing with this and finish it. And I was so excited. Like I did the whole spec sheet, I did the floor plans, I did the whole design. I even ordered 2 vanities that are now sitting in our garage. That was $700. Just, hopefully we get a project that we can use them, next year. But like we did all this work too for the lender during that time, because the lender needed the whole design and everything to show, and all of the bids from the contractors and everything to show that the ARV was what we were saying it was going to be, and that we could rent it for what we said it was going to be.
So lesson learned number 1, don't buy anything until you're past inspection at least.
Yeah. Well, they were such a good deal though. Like seriously, like these vanities were such a good deal. So I know I'll use them in another project. I'm trying to sell them. If anyone wants some really nice mid-century looking vanities, reach out to me. Because I got 2 24-inch vanities that are really cute. But, yeah, so it was so much negotiating and talking to...
Well, talking to the agent and making sure that they understood. Because when we were negotiating, fixing the foundation, especially the bowing, and adding the drain tile was almost $20,000. But those weren't the 2 only things that we found during the inspection that we weren't expecting, which is fine. We calculated for $50,000. If it becomes 60, that's fine. It's not accounted for well, but almost. You expect that at least 10 to 20% of the budget is going to go over about that much, usually 10 to 20%. So since we were like, okay, 50, but if it goes to 60, it's fine. Well, it ended up going to 80, maybe even 90. So we're like, okay, we're gonna meet you in the middle. We need a $20,000 cut on the price or contributions to somewhat equal. So what can you do? Let us know what the sellers want to do. We did our due diligence with the house, and we took a look at all the permits, and that was another red flag too. They never took permits for plumbing to install the sump pump and replacing things that they were replacing, because there were new piping there were new sump pumps. So you have all that stuff, and it's like, okay, or plumber.
This is an estate.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
yeah. Property sold as is. They don't know anything about it, but you can check all those little items with the city and the city website or in the county website, and you can talk to your experts. Go by your experts. They don't know about anything about the house. Your experts are the resource, and because they're gonna end up charging you for the to fix it up anyways. So go with what they say anyways, regardless of what the sellers are saying, because the sellers want to sell, and you need to make sure that when you buy and you're being careful enough with what you're buying.
Yeah, we had so much invested in this property, like so much, and I honestly loved the home. Like, it was just going to be such a fun project for me because it was mid-century, and that's my favorite design style. And I haven't been able to do a mid-century, like a true mid-century home yet. So, and I just knew that I could make this house like amazing, and I was so excited to get to that final finished home product and like rent it. And I know that we could have rented it for more than $3,500 dollars a month, and that would have reached the 1% at purchase price.
Yeah.
But they didn't accept our offer after our negotiations. We wanted to go down to we had to go down to 330, and even that was being like.
It was already pushing it.
Yeah, that was it was still a big risk for us to even keep it at 330.
Mm-hmm. But we understood, you understand the sellers want to sell, you understand you want to buy, you want to get to close, and it's like, okay, a negotiation is to meet in the middle, basically. We knew that we had to spend at least $30,000 more, potentially even $40,000 more than what we expected. So you meet them in the middle, and they didn't even want to do that. So
these were very stubborn sellers, like very stubborn, and this is like what's going on in the market. It's like a perfect example of what's going on in the market, because they knew they could sell it for $350. Well, so this is what they said.
If we know
if we went back on the market, we know we could sell it for $350. And we're just like, okay, like they did not want to negotiate at all, and this is what's going on in the market now. Sellers think they can get a certain price, but you can't. So
yeah, most of the homes that we've seen that we offered on when they're on the market for a while, they end up. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying most, and I would say maybe it's a 50-50. Some sold for a little bit higher than what we offered. Even with our clients that we offered, lower offers, and they rejected all these offers, and they're now either on the market for that amount, or they ended up selling that same house for the amount that we offer or lower.
Yeah. This has happened with multiple properties that we've seen. One of them is still sitting on the market for lower than we offered.
Mm-hmm.
So
but now we can't buy it because of Maple
No,
Road.
it was one that we were going to move into instead of this one.
Yeah. So
whatever.
Yeah.
But so I mean, we're really good at like knowing what number to offer. So then we were sad. We let it go. We let the property go. We're just like, okay, this isn't going to work out. They're not going to accept 330. We can't just buy something because we like it. Like the numbers have to work. So we let it go, and then what was it? A week or two later?
I think about 2-3 weeks later, actually.
No, it was like 2 weeks later.
Really?
I don't think it was 3 weeks later. Yeah. Oof. It was like 2 weeks later. Because I just kept looking at it like, okay, like, has it gone pending yet? Like,
yeah, probably 2 weeks. I would say at least 2 weeks, probably 3. I can't remember. So
they went back on the market about like 5 days after they canceled the contract with us, and they lowered the price to $350. So, you know, they lowered it to $350. Then I kept checking, and then we get a call one Friday from the agent.
Yeah, we were in a meeting, and I was like, okay, I guess I.
Yeah, I was so excited. I was like, they're gonna come down on price. We're gonna get it. You know, we're gonna get this property finally. And I was like, I kind of knew that they were gonna call us back. Like I had this feeling because this property had, like, every one of our investments has like a feeling that goes with it. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but like, just sort of feels meant to be or something. And it had that exact same, like, okay, it's all gonna work out type feeling. Well, it doesn't, but like, it felt that way. And so like, they called us. She called you, and what did she say?
Yeah, well, they called us, and the agent called me, and she said, well, you know, we've been on the market for a couple of weeks, and we got other offers, and they're all about in the ballpark that you were. Which tells me that probably the offers were either at or lower than what we offered.
Than the 330 that we were offering, yeah.
Because what happens so I sent her all this information to help with the negotiation and to help them understand. What happens is that since they have that information now from the inspection and from the contractors, they know that there's an issue. It needs to be disclosed. Okay, it's a legal issue if it doesn't get disclosed.
No, they tried to tell us that they didn't have to disclose it.
Well, but that's beyond the point. You know, they have to disclose it, and she did disclose all that to make sure that they weren't in the same spot. Now we're getting an offer at 330, and then during the inspection, now they want 310 because they found this couple things. You know, so I think that she did what she had to do. She was a good agent. You know, that she did what she had to do. So
hopefully,
yeah, and so they came back to us. I'm like, yeah, we're still interested. Don't worry, I'll get you an offer.
So we call our lenders.
Yeah. We call our lenders, and what happened is that we were getting certain interest rate when we were negotiating.
The first time.
They were like, no, everything is off. 2 weeks passed, and this is the nature of our business and the nature of the market we're in right now. Is that 2 weeks later, our cost was 1.5%.
Wait. Oh, god damn it! Why that kind of? That was a good.
Jesus Christ.
Block.
So yeah,
that's the nature of our business.
2 weeks later, our cost was 1.5% higher on our interest rate. So unfortunately, and I told her this same thing to the agent. You know, 2 weeks ago, or when we were negotiating, I could have bought it for 330. And this is not an exact science, but we just look at our numbers, and I have a Excel spreadsheet where I analyze our rentals, and we have to be careful with the numbers. And the numbers said that we only could buy it for 300. And actually, that was a little bit high too. You know, I'm like, okay, if 300 works for the sellers, then we'll put it on the contract. If it doesn't, I'm not even gonna bother to get a pre-approval letter anything.
And then it wasn't only that, but like we had issues with the original lender that we were gonna go with. Like, was giving us a really good deal, and he was making us show all of the bids for the contractors and my design and all this stuff. And then when we come back to him, he told us, well, I can't pre-approve you because you don't have your 22 tax returns yet. And we're like, what? Like, you were pre-approved us 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, what happened so what happened is that I asked all the right questions and asked him, did you go over the paperwork? Do you need anything else from me? Do you need any other information for me to get to you? Can you write this for us? Is it, do you need anything else before send it to underwriting, or did you go over our information? Yes, yes. The answer was always yes, we can give you this loan. Yes, we can give you this loan. Well, he actually didn't read anything.
Yeah.
He just, when I asked for a pre-approval,
he made
for
us
the
do
second
all
offer,
of that work all of that work with the contractors and for my design for, like, it could have been for nothing in the end. Like, maybe it's good this didn't work out, because what would have happened if we would have continued on and after the inspection period? It was a good thing probably that this happened this way, because we could have possibly lost all our earnest money with this specific lender who was like, we had given us the impression, he gave us a pre-approval letter before, didn't he?
No, he didn't give us a pre-approval letter, but because I used a pre-approval letter with a different lender that we had.
Which we were going to go with possibly too. It was just depending on their interest rates.
Yeah. So it was a higher interest rate with the lender that we had a pre-approval with, but it still worked. So what we were trying to do was getting better numbers. And that's something that you have to do even if you're not an investor. Always try to make sure that you're doing your due diligence with the money you're borrowing from different lenders, and that you're negotiating. So that's point number one. Point number two, we had to go with our backup lender, but even our backup lender now was higher.
Yeah, so, even they went higher.
So that's what happened. So we ended up telling the agent, hey, it was 330 2 weeks ago, but numbers have changed and now it's only 300. I'm sorry, it has to be that way. It was actually, like, honestly, if we were really like meticulous about how much, it should have been actually 275. But again,
which obviously, like, why even waste? I mean, then she said, if you can't give us an offer for 330, don't waste our time. And so we're like, okay, like, so after that, I was just like, well, this is definitely the end of this property. Like, no more. We wasted our time and money.
We try to place it with a few of our clients.
Yeah.
And they were interested, but
because we have a cash buyer that, like, if you could have bought this cash, it would have worked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cash, it would have worked at even 350 probably. But the thing is that our clients weren't fast enough. And that's the other thing, too. If you're an investor and you're working with an agent and the agent tells you, here's the deal. And not only that, like, we had way more information than the average agent just because this was going to be our deal.
Yeah, and especially if we're investing in it, then it's a damn good deal.
We're very conservative with what we do.
Yeah, well, and I'm pretty picky. Like, maybe it'll change, but I'm pretty picky with the areas and, like, the type of tenant I want. So this was going to be a good one, and I'm curious to see what happens to the house. I wonder if it was an investor who bought it, or if it was just a homeowner who's going to live there.
Yeah. I mean, it seems from, according to the conversation that I had with the agent, it gave me the impression that it was all investors who were bidding on this house. If you are using private money and you have, a better rate than most other investors, or, whatever the case is, then you can buy it for more. Then you can offer more. It just depends. Cash, you can buy it for even more. It just depends. And that's the thing. Sometimes, if we, like I was saying, if we give you all this information, we did an inspection, we had everything. We knew to the T how much it was going to cost, and told our clients, add an extra 10% just in case, because that always happens. And
then they would have to, so if we manage the project, they would have to pay us for that too. So that adds a cost on their end.
Yeah. But it is a cost that I already pass on to the budget, and I usually do that, and on top of this, add an extra 10%, but I give you the budget that you need to be aware of, and then add an extra 10% to that, and I always tell everyone to do that, especially if you're not really experienced, so that could happen. It wasn't fast enough. We tried to buy it ourselves. It didn't work. We tried to place it with clients. It didn't work. So now we have to see what's going to happen with it.
Yeah. Oh, and then what was it that happened right after the first time it fell through? we also what was it that happened? That one guy who had a client who was looking.
Oh yeah, it was a lead that there was this other investor that's also an agent.
Yeah.
That I gave him information about the house, told him, hey, this is the deal. He's a referral from a partner that we work with that does rentals and all that stuff, and he's like, no, if I have to buy it, I'm gonna be in the mid 200s. He said, because of the way that he would do the investment. So it seems that we're not that conservative either.
Well, but you told me that he didn't want to do it as a luxury rental.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't do it as a luxury.
And we were going to be making it more of a high-end rental.
Exactly. So, because a normal house in Plymouth, renting for $2,500, it's completely normal, especially in the Wayzata School District. It's not something that's out of the ordinary. We rented our duplex for $2,200 a month, and they were 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,800 square feet in Northeast Minneapolis. Yeah. So if you're in the Wayzata School District for a single house, paying $2,500, you're actually in the lower tier, right? He probably would have just fixed it up enough and not spend a lot of money, which you can do, but again, the numbers weren't there for something like that. Not the offer that the sellers wanted. And this is what happens in real estate a lot.
Yeah, like these are the things that happen behind the scenes, like to everybody. Like, you always see on Instagram and stuff, like all these like cute, nice things, rainbows and butterflies, but like there's a lot of disappointments and like just like shitty situations that happen. And that's the reality of real estate investing, you know? So that happened to us. And obviously like we learn from it, and like it's nothing like we could have prevented or anything. Like I wanted the investment, but
nothing we could have prevented. I mean, this is the nature of the business that we're in. Yeah. Yeah, we just trust that like things will work out when they're meant to, and like this wasn't meant to be our rental. Yeah. So no, and it that's the way it has to be. Then, we're better investing in other things. I mean. Yeah. And another reason too why we wanted that so bad, it was kind of our last chance before the end of the year to get another investment property, which would offset some of the profits from our flip that we made this year. Mm-hmm. And so announcement, since we can't find another property, we'll probably be buying a business truck to offset some of those expenses. And maybe it was just meant to be that we buy the truck because we plan on doing a lot of projects next year. So we're going to be, and managing them, we're going to try to be buying all the materials ourselves and save money on that and bringing them to the projects and everything. So we'll need that truck for that, I guess. And it'll be fun because I want a truck. She loves big cars. Yeah. It'll be fun, to have our work vehicle. We're going to put all of our logo and stuff on it. So, it is what it is. It just happened the way it happened. And like the more we're in this business, the more this is probably going to happen to us all the time. Well, it already happened to us before. Yeah. We weren't that invested into it before. Yeah, it's happened to us before with other ones. Yeah, like a cabin. And it happened to clients of us before too. Yeah, with the cabin, we had to give up actually the earnest money. Luckily, it was very low. But we didn't like do all this like design work and like bring all the contractors there and just like, like that was the part that was hard for me because we invested a lot of time and money into it. We had the sewer scope, we had the inspection, we had... Well, since we work for ourselves and we are able to schedule our own time to do our jobs, we didn't completely clear out during our schedule during the inspection period, but that was our main focus. Mm-hmm. So having... what was it by the end of it? Yeah, we like wasted 2 weeks just like trying to figure out everything with that property, and so Yeah.
Like,
So
any investor can relate. Some people are probably watching like, oh, boo-hoo. Like, that happened to me once a week or something. You know, like, this happens to me all the time. Like, yeah, I know. We know that. It will. It's going to happen all the time. It happens, whatever. But it's just like, it's a story we wanted to tell. It was like a twist, you know, and we thought we were going to be able to, like, tell the story, like, oh, we sold it to somebody else, to, like, one of our clients, or we sold it to this other guy, and then, you know, we got a commission at least for all our time, and then or oh, then they came back to us and we bought it and stuff. We're like, no, it didn't happen.
Who knows? Maybe they fail inspection
and we buy it next year. Wouldn't that be crazy?
I mean, maybe we have to do. I hope we do a number 2 of this, you know, part 2 of the story, the saga of the Plymouth house.
Yeah.
And then if we do end up buying, we're gonna disclose many more things and pictures and all that stuff. But it is, you know, it is what it is. We have to.
Next.
Yep. Next. That's.
Next one.
One of our colleagues told us, you know, whenever something happens to you, we were talking about missing out on listings, you know, or maybe be competing with other agents and not getting the client and all that stuff. And it's like, you know what you have to do in those situations? Next. Same thing with investments. Keep going, keep analyzing. Well, and honestly, one of the takeaways that I have with this one is that it put us in touch with a lot of subcontractors directly.
Yeah.
Because we were going through RGC, you know, but again, now numbers are tighter because we don't know where this market's going to go still. It seems that it's going to be a little bit more positive than what we thought, but again, it can vary. There's
you never know.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. So we are trying to reduce cost by managing ourselves, by talking to the subcontractors directly, and this helped us put us in touch with a lot of people that we weren't in touch with before. This helped us develop new relationships without a lender.
Yeah, without a lender. Yeah.
And you know, also build a stronger relationship with the other lender too. It's just there's
always good things that happen too.
Exactly. There's always good things that happen through a transaction.
With every experience,
and every experience teaches you something. So
for sure. So there you have it. You can live through our experience and learn with us.
Yeah.
We're going to watch the second half of this game. Nobody's scored yet, so.
Yeah. Messi got a penalty kick that didn't.
That he missed. No, it was blocked.
Yeah. But the reason for Argentina not scoring yet is because I'm not wearing my lucky hat. So, you know what?
Okay. Wear your hat.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying until the end. This was our story in one of the deals that fell through that you can learn from and expect when you get into investing in real estate. And just know that it's normal. I hope you had a nice time listening to us or watching our video. And we always do. I mean, we're watching a game and talking to you. So this is really fun for us. And if we can share our experiences and motivate people and, you know, just encourage you to invest or keep on going when you're feeling down, I hope that we can do that for everyone who's watching or listening. And leave us a comment if you like it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And yeah.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Thank you for listening to today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it and took some valuable information out of it. If you want to reach out to us with comments or questions, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and our website, milagrohomesre.com.